Hey, there we are. Hello, folks. All you internet folks. This is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in sunny Sharpsburg, Georgia. I don't know if that's focusing or not. I can't tell. Maybe y'all can tell me. It's one of my business card / refrigerator magnets. It's just a reproduction of my business card. If you want one of these, hey, just drop me a PM with your name and address and I'll drop one in the mail to you. No charge, no strings, no nothing. Boy. And here we go. Whoop. Yep. There you have it. Whoop. And as you can see, Sally's sitting outside again. Boy. Here we go. We're continuing on our Project Iroc Z, as I call it. 89 Iroc Z. I believe it's all original, except for some of the paint. I don't really know. But we started off, as usual, with the strip wash and chemical decon. And then I gave it the baggy test and clay barred a few spots. Oh boy. The hood is completely done except for adding protection to it. If you saw some of the photographs from earlier, etc., you could see that it was badly scratched. Hey, Miss Bonita. But now it's done. It is looking mighty fine. Way better than what it was when it rolled in here. Are there still a few defects? Yes. Is it perfect? No. But you don't want to chase perfection on these cars, folks. There's a little spot, see, right there. Those are two little rock chips, and there's a few of those. And nothing I can do about those. Oh boy. Did a little bit of spot damp sanding in a few places on this hood, Miss Bonita. And then followed up with compound and a wool pad with a rotary, and then a couple different dual action polishers with soft pads and a final polish. That's how you get this mirror-like finish. I'm saving these louvers till later. I hadn't quite decided what I'm going to do with those. And then I moved on to the trunk area. You know, it was pretty well hammered as well. But it came out kind of the same deal. Hey, Charles! As you can see, it has turned out mighty fine. Little speck of dust there. Mighty fine. You know, there's a few defects in the paint, like right there. I don't know if y'all can see that spot there. Whoop. Maybe you can, but stuff like that you cannot get out. Not by detailing. That's a repaint to get rid of those defects in the paint, because it goes all the way down in the paint. I'm not sure if it's a solvent pop or something like that from when they repainted this part. The hood and this part has been repainted, so there was plenty of paint to work with. Came out nice. So, man oh man. Then yesterday, late yesterday, after I finished all that, I started on this pillar post here and this section of the top. And I'll show you, there was no paint hardly to work with. Ooh-wee. Let's see what we got here. If I can get this thing to working. You can see there's just a little over 2 mils of paint, folks. That is not much. Not much paint at all. Same thing all the way down through here, sometimes a little less. To put that in perspective for you, Charles and Miss Bonita, most newer vehicles have about 4 mils of paint. It's getting thinner and thinner and thinner as we go along in years here, because it's cheaper for the manufacturers. 4 mils is about the thickness of a Post-it note. So this is half as thick as that. So you can imagine. So what I had to do, I took these pads and my products, and this was all hand rubbed gently. several times because I had to be very careful, because when the paint is this thin, it is very fragile. And I don't know if you guys saw the photographs, but you know, it came out looking pretty darn good, all things considered. There's some buffer burn right there. I don't know if y'all can pick that up from a previous detailer. Of course, that's not going away. There's a defect in the paint right there. It's way down in there. You could tell by the whitish color it's down to the primer. Nothing I can do about that, but overall it came out pretty nice. And you can see where I taped off to protect the gaskets and all that kind of stuff. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep, got my different buffers all ready to go. Got all kind of different pads. And what I'm going to attack today is this area of the roof. Oh man. And what's curious and what makes this car kind of difficult, you guys, is that as you can see there, we got a little more than 4 mils of paint, so I can work with that some, but I still have to be very careful because 4 mils is not a lot. But it changes as you go across. See right there, I don't know if you guys can pick that up. See, right there, we're up to almost 6 mils just from here to here. Oh man. So I could polish over there better than I could polish over here. And then we drop down to this part right here. See right there, it drops down to 3. Down here, a little over 3. And a little bit like over 3 there, almost 4. As you can see, the readings are pretty inconsistent. Over 5 there. I'm not sure I understand that, except for the fact that when you paint it, gravity comes into play. The paint tends to flow according to gravity, so it accumulates sometimes a little thicker in these areas than it does up here. So they tell me. So the painter guys tell me. Oh man. So I got to formulate a plan for this. I'm probably going to use, instead of a full-on wool pad, which is very aggressive, to probably a hybrid pad, which is a combination of wool and microfibers. It's aggressive, but it's not quite as aggressive as the wool, since I'm not sure of the consistency from little area to little area to little area of the paint. I'll probably do that same thing down in here, and then go to the dual action with a soft pad with the final finish polish. And let's see if I can grab my light here. Whatever I did with it, I laid it down somewhere. I was going to show you guys, there's plenty of scratches in this. A lot of them are deep, and I cannot do anything about those. Let's see, there we go. Oh man, see that big scratch right there? And there's all kind of buffer scratching. See all that? It's pretty consistent all the way through here. When you get down to here, you got the same thing. See that? See all that, Charles? Most of that is going to come out, but I could tell by looking at it, some of those scratches are kind of deep. That's from a buffer, probably not using a clean pad when they switched over. And you had some grit in there that caused it to scratch, or a combination of poor washing methods. Hey, Mr. Michael, how you doing, bro? But, and right there is kind of a little cloudy area. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up. Hopefully that'll come out. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. But I'm going to get started here. Oh boy, oh boy. Been working on this thing for days and days and days. And of course, quick review for you guys. This thing was thoroughly strip washed to clean as much off of it as I possibly could, crap and crud. And then it was chemically deconned with Iron X. And there's alternative companies that you can get the chemical stuff. And then I went around the car and used what they call the plastic baggie test and felt to the paint once it was clean, and clay bar just a few areas. And I used the very mild grade of clay bar because, like I said, a lot of these areas have almost no paint on them, and clay bar isn't abrasive. Comes in 3 grades: mild, medium, and aggressive. And some companies even have a very mild or something, I forget what they call it, which, it's about like a magic sponge. But then you lift and shear all that contaminants off of the paint, and hopefully a lot of this buffing I'm doing will remove some of the stuff that has embedded itself into the clear coat and shear that off and clear that up as much as possible. We're going to make this baby look as good as she possibly can, folks, on a detailing level. Like I said, the paint is so inconsistent. I'm kind of limited, especially in those areas where it's 2 and 3 mils and 4 mils. And then, of course, like the hood's been repainted. Hell, it was 8 to 10 plus mils. Some places it had 12. The same thing with the trunk deck. It had been repainted. In some places the paint was very thick, and some places not quite as thick. So I'm having to keep my paint thickness gauge basically in my back pocket and whip it out every time I get to a new little section. Kind of aggravating, but hey, they don't call it detailing for nothing. All right, folks, y'all have a great day. If you have any questions, shoot them to me. I'll be glad to try and answer them. Hey, some of my answers might even be correct. Oh boy, you can see where I've marked off stuff with my little yellow tape all around this car so I don't forget that it's there. That's all marking off touch-up paint. All right, folks, y'all have a great day. Appreciate you. Like, tag, share, follow, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, all that internet stuff, which I'm not sure I totally understand. Okay, folks, see ya.